Good day, Humanities 110. My name is Stalin, and I'm going to walk you through part 2 or step 2 of 5 for your research project. This week, we are going to add images and more research. So you need to add 2 scholarly sources to the one that you've already submitted in week 5, 1 or 3 of your main points that will be needed for your research project, and 1 image with an in-text and reference list citation in APA formatting. Please keep in mind that in your assignment instructions, it goes over the details of what is required for your main point. And so this is going to focus primarily on your image in-text citation. So we do have a citation that we found from World History Encyclopedia. Please keep in mind that you can use an image from anywhere online, a museum website, encyclopedia website. However, you cannot use World History Encyclopedia for content, okay? They have great images, so you can definitely use those images, but you cannot use that information for your content or the research portion of your project. All right. And so the basic formatting for an online image citation is the last name of the actual creator of the format, the source, a comma. You also have the initials followed by a period, the year or the date in parentheses, followed by another period, the image title, so the name of the title that the creator provided. And in the brackets here, you're going to include the format. What kind of image or what kind of source is it? Is it an illustration? Is it a painting? Is it a picture or photograph? Okay, with a period as well. And then you're going to have the site name, so where you actually retrieved the image or your illustration, and then followed by the URL or the web address. Okay, if you locate an image from a museum, for instance, it's the same format. Instead of the site name, naturally you're just going to put the museum, like the Smithsonian or the Modern Museum, MoMA, for instance. Okay, followed by that web address. Now, the in-text citation is going to follow the format of the last name, comma, and the year in parentheses, okay? So that would be your in-text citation. Usually would go under the image within your paper, or even if it, if you want to have it on the side, on a margin, that's fine, but it definitely should be within your paper. Your reference list citation is going to look as follows. You have the name of the author. In this case, we only have the last name, presumably, of the author, followed by the period. You then have the year or the date in this case. You have another period. And then you have the actual title of the source itself, in italics, Alexander the Great and his Horus Bucephalus. It's a mosaic, okay? That is the actual title for this image. You then have, notice in the brackets, it's an illustration because that's what it is. And then you have, followed by another period, World History Encyclopedia, which is where we retrieve the image from, followed by another period, as well as the web address, okay? It's really important to note that the formatting, the actual format of the image itself should be in brackets. And so you definitely should have this in brackets if it's an image or an illustration, a drawing perhaps, or a map. This lets your instructor know that you are using World History Encyclopedia for the image and not for the content. That's really important. Okay. Here are some additional tips in completing the step 2 or part 2 of your research project. Start early. Read the assignment instructions and know exactly what is required for that step of the research process. Use Google Scholar and Nightingale Library. They are found in your My Day account. You can also use Google scholar.google.com, which will help you ascertain scholarly sources. Review the scholarly source tip sheet. Your instructor would have provided that information to you in terms of knowing how to determine what can, what is a good scholarly source and what isn't. Scholarly definitely meaning peer-reviewed. And then I always recommend to look ahead in future modules. On the odd weeks in our class throughout the semester, you have one aspect of your research project due. And so you want to, look ahead in week 7, week 9, 11, 13, and 15. The final project is due in week 15. That way you know exactly what those next steps are requiring. And then last but not least, and most importantly, know your resources. The library located in your My Nightingale or your My Day account, the Writing Center is an excellent resource, and as always, your instructors. I do hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any additional questions, please follow up with your instructor.